opinion,
Yes.
what I see, how we can learn to cope with this is just we can start from the youth.
The youth.
You see that we have in Rwanda a big number of full population, they are youth.
Yeah.
So once we focus on the youth, we teach them how to push up the life, how to cope with every hard situation we have, finding solutions, maybe not only from seeking job like for unemployment, but also creating our own. This might increase the level of happiness.
Exactly. Exactly. And even increasing the leisure places.
Yeah.
In other cities, you have a lot of parks everywhere, even sitting place. Kigali also is starting this project. Yeah, we have a lot of free car zones. Yeah, even in Ibuye they started the free car zones so that people can sit and talk and relax a bit. But we need more active action in this framework. Actually, we need to think about this because we are concerned as scholars about this. Yeah. And it is true. I remember when I was in China 2008, we used to go at the playground at 4 p.m. Everybody was the old, the young, the child, whoever knows what. If you know Kung Fu, you go there, you play Kung Fu. You go there, you play football. You go there, you dance, traditional dance. In Rwanda, you cannot find that public space. We used to have this before genocide, early years ago, where abakobwa bakajya mu rubohero bakavuza ingoma bakabyina. I think that you know it. And you know it. I used to go to see the ladies dancing. But nowadays we don't have such things. Everyone working, and unhappy. That's not, we are really concerned about
But I'm sure that this index has improved a lot, right?
It is improving, but always when we check indicators, we see that we are ranked below. And this is how.
But compared to other African countries, I think you are doing good. You are not bad.
We are stable. We are doing good.
Not stable, no. I mean, it has been
even economy, but in terms of managing, this is psychological aspect.
Yeah, from my experience as a foreigner, and visiting 17 countries in Africa, I can say Rwandans are happy, in general. Even though, maybe the salaries are low, or the income, is low, or something, or they work hard.
Yeah.
But in general, compared to African countries that I visited from East and West, okay, except some of North African countries, we are doing very good.
We are doing very good, and we hope the indicators will increase. But I also traveled.
Again, I want to comment here. It's nothing to do with leisure areas like this. Happiness is a journey, and it's usually measured even by this index. There is a lot of criticism on this index.
Yes.
But happiness is about looking at life and what is the purpose of life, going to having spiritual feelings, having family connections, having friends. This is where the effectiveness of happiness happens.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So I see that you are doing good. Yeah. For example, I know that most of you have extended family, and you are related to your family, to your grandfather, to your not only to mother and father, for example.
Yeah.
And this is something that is, I think, Rwanda in general is good. Yeah.
It is good. Of course, we are not very far, but we are ranked among lowest. This has a purpose. I have traveled to Tanzania, for instance, our neighboring country. They're happier than us many times.
Yes. How do you measure that?
Yes, if I can go to the market, for instance, they have, for instance, Nyama Choma. Who knows Nyama Choma?
Yeah.
Nyama Choma party or ceremony. Yeah? Every week, 300 people can visit the market just for barbecue only. And relax, barbecue and relax. Okay, I'm not saying that we are very behind, but we have to improve. We have to take this as a very serious issue. Yeah. And Nyama Choma in Tanzania, for instance, 300 people can gather just for a barbecue, sitting, enjoying barbecue. And our youth, for instance, they are not like us who witnessed the crisis of genocide. We hope that our youth will bring more happier society than us. Yeah. You have a point.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just wanted to say that I think as we advance towards quantitating happiness within the community, we'll probably feed into the database more information. Maybe information they're using is also not as current as it is. So this investigation, this kind of learning would help to do a lot of more research, publish more information about Rwanda as it has moved from old state to a higher one.
I know what you mean. And,
so investigation may be a whole lot, data may be a lot.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but as a scholar, I never judge who did the research. If you don't disapprove, you do your own research.
But that's what I mean. This forum should lead towards improving the data collection so that we all also can measure given the standard and then compare, and you can even inform the policies of the people, the institutions doing it.
And by the way, Doctor, this index, it has already many problems on it.
Yeah,
for example, it measures the happiness from the perspective of the West.
Exactly.
And they don't put for it, for example, the extended family. Okay, the grandmother, they don't see their grandchildren there in Europe. Here, it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah,
when you want someone to advise you, to give you wisdom, you go to these people. If you have this family connection, these people, they measure it with how much with their dogs, with their animals, and how every day they take them walking. So there is a lot of criticism on this.
Yes, yeah. I agree with your view, but the purpose of this teaching you is how can you improve learning cycle, bringing happiness to this community? How can we use the lower resources we have, the meager resources we can afford to bring home, for instance, the drum and give the young people free fight to dance. Yeah. This is the purpose of the workshop. We cannot do what we cannot afford. Yeah. And that is what mostly Dr. Buhegi tells me. Yeah. But how?
Already it's 10:30. You have lost 1 hour.
Okay. So I think the purpose to teach you this is that if you can afford the board to pray, give to the kids to pray. Yeah. If you can afford sport praise to implement, start it. If you can afford the basketball playground, do it. It brings happiness to our community, and that is the goal, not
you have to finish in 5 minutes, and you are late already in your.
Okay. Then they will have maybe tea or you proceed. Yeah.
You have 5 minutes now.
Okay. So, and this is the one of the issues, the negative thought patterns, and how can we decrease stress and then anxiety, negative thought, yeah. And then unrealistic expectations. How can we decrease unrealistic expectations? Because people always think mega project, and this can also increase stress and robbery and corruption and whatever. But we have to think on realistic expectation, affordable expectation. You cannot maybe build a house like this, but you build your small house and you're happy. Yeah, these are things that we need to think about. Comparison traps and so on and so forth. Lack of social connection and so. Yeah, I think I have to stop
here.
If you
go back, Doctor, it's good, even though I suppose not to help you, not to oppose your presentation.
You can oppose.
All what you mentioned here, except maybe the first one I don't know.
Yeah.
But I never seen Rwandan, for example, a lot of majority. I'm staying here now 15 months.
Yes.
You guys, you are very relaxed. You don't have stress, anxiety compared to what we have in our countries. Okay? Yeah. Even though there they have everything to be luxury, and I'm talking even the West. Yeah. Okay? They think about positions, they think about cars, they think about how they manage the traffic.
Yeah.
Here you are managing and you are living your life. Okay? And this is one thing I'm saying, just we have to be careful when we take data. This is what he was saying also, from other sources. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the data might not be reflecting the reality.
Yeah.
For example, also, see last one, this is what I was talking about. You have very strong social connections. In your country, you have a families, mostly, you are connected to a family, connected to a friends, connected to the village.
Yes.
And you go every weekend to your village, right?
Yeah,
Yourself. Why? Because you have social connection, right?
Yeah.
For you, this is very important. Even though you spend money,
Yes.
still you have to go, right?
Yeah.
So this is something that is Rwanda. I feel it is unique, and it should stay. We should strengthen that.
Yeah. We are trying to strengthen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is decreasing also, because I don't know why. If you look at the street children from Rapere, for instance, some of them have aunts and nieces, and even some have parents. The connection is cutting off, and that is what we are talking about.
But here again, we have to be careful from being in the capital and rural areas. Majority of Rwandans,
Exactly.
I think they are living in rural areas. They are not living in capital.
Exactly.
Capital life is totally different. Always.
Yeah, exactly. So, for instance, in Rwanda, there is a policy that we no longer have orphanage. They have to join their families.
Yes.
Yeah, which is good, and we rely on social connection, as Dr. Bahid is mentioning. Yeah, but this is something to maintain, not to lose. Yeah. I think I can stop by here so that I don't go over time, and I give floor to others to continue. But of course, these were kind of advice, balancing work with life balance, family balance, physical health, financial stress decreasing, and negative news and media, lack of purpose, and so on and so forth. Of course, this was about human development indicators. Still, East African community is low, because the bigger human development index is 0.9. Yeah. Still, you see, you can compare ourselves, of course, and we are not very least. I mean, we are not very bad in this, but we still have a lot of to do. When we talk about human development indicators, we are talking about access to education, access to justice, access to, to basic means, basic livelihood means, access to freedom and security. And, yeah, okay. Of course, Rwanda is not compared like any other, like South Sudan. Yeah? There is difference, but we still have a lot to do in terms of how can we build continuously the knowledge to people to implement such success stories. I think my part was that, and I thank you for your attention. I give floor to Dr. Bahid, and he will emphasize more on learning cycles.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I want to talk about more of the type of cycles of learning that bring breakthroughs. But before we talk about learning, we need to understand what is the difference between learning and education. Sheikh Mohammed. What's the difference between learning and education? Anybody?
I think education is a standard to the world. That an institute of education should set up the standards that every institution should follow. Learning is it's a process of receiving those standards in education.
Okay. You're right. Education is more formal, right?
Yeah.
And you have to follow certain steps to get your qualification. Right? Whether you are for high school or you are going for university or something like that. Okay. What else? Mohammed, you want to say something?
Yes. Thank you very much. As she said, actually education is related to graduation, receiving maybe certificates, But learning, you can learn from experience, you can learn from in-person, ours. We can learn from maybe here we're not going to get a diploma, degree or whatever, but we are learning. So we can learn from everywhere and from everything, but education goes hand in hand with schools, universities, and formal education. Thank you.
Okay. Now, which one is the lifelong process? Is it learning or education? Learning, right? So we shouldn't debate about that. So which one is more important? Learning, right? And people might go for education, but they will never learn. Okay? I've seen many people, they are professors, but they never change. Actually, they consider change as stupid. While we say in learning that the more you change, the more you are learning, right? Because the more you learn, the more your mindset is changing. And the more your mindset is changing means the more you're going to impact the world. Your possibility to see different opportunities is much more. Okay? Your span will be greater. Okay? And this is why I wanted to start with that. I'll apply this later on a project, one of the projects we did in West Africa, Ghana, is the shea butter. You know the shea nuts tree. This is very popular. Actually, most of you have used it. Either use it in soap or shampoo, or use it for your hair. Okay? And the African Americans are the most consumers in the world. Okay? They are a big business, this one. So they take it from Africa, and you know, they use it a lot in African American businesses and so on. The shea butter is also shea oil, okay, and shea powder also. So we are not having only shea butter, but we are focused here on our case study in shea butter because it's our main business in that organization. This is a social for a profit. Okay, so this is what we want to do. For example, with the orphans, our labor, for example, hopefully with Odette when we visit her. Okay. That we should think like this because this ensures the continuous learning and sustainability. Okay? Because the most important thing in any project is that there is learning. How will you know that there is learning? That this project is changing. For example, Hamad, he was with us about a few months ago and now he's coming. It's very important we get from him feedback. Are we improving, Muhammad, or are you thinking we are the same? How we know that if someone is learning? He's improving or she's improving, right? The organization is improving or the community is improving. So there is a learning process. Okay? And this is what we meant by learning, is that you need to, in order to make development in Africa, we shouldn't have the same status quo. The NGO, when it's delivered service, it shouldn't deliver service like last year. Based on the feedback, actually should question many things. And one time I was telling, I think my sister Odette, and others who was sitting here in one of the workshops, any organization, you measure yourself, even yourself, any organization that is doing the service for the same beneficiaries in the last, let's say, 5 years, it means they are not doing anything. Why? Because these beneficiaries are supposed to go out, supposed to improve, and they go out of your service, and to give a chance for others who need it more. Okay, you are supposed by these 5 years or 3 years to brought these beneficiaries to become entrepreneurs or social entrepreneurs, or they become job creators, not to stay under your umbrella. And this is again very important measure for NGOs. So for that I wanted to again emphasize in the learning, as we said, it is informal, lifelong learning process. Mostly informal. It comes from formal sometimes, like this one, but this one now it can be enthusiasm, even not, learning. The difference, always I say enthusiasm is not enough. Knowledge, even you're gonna get knowledge, hopefully, a little knowledge, if you know. I don't think you know everything that we're gonna say. For sure, every one of us will learn from each other. I'm already learning from you guys. No, so we said enthusiasm is not enough. Remember that, which means attendance is not enough. Okay. Knowledge is not enough. Only profound knowledge is enough. Okay. Profound knowledge means that I started to practice what I learned. Because any learning that is not linked to a practice, okay, it means a blockage for us, okay? So learning as a learning is, let's consider learning, it's in order to come into our mind, okay, and so that we understand it, and it affects our mindset. As always I talk about mindset, it's very important, okay? It's our attitude, our behaviors, our perception about life. Learning, okay, if it is not implemented, what will happen to us? Oh, we know about learning and how it affects the socio-economic development. We know because we attended this workshop, okay? If I put a workshop next week, you say, I know. I tell you, no, you don't know. You know only when you start implementing, okay? So profound knowledge is about implementation. It's not about attending, getting certificates, okay? So this is very important that we think about this and take this into our, consideration. So as I said here, it's not so here, learning is the area where again the mindset will change. So when you will know that you are learning, when your mindset is changing, you started to see different things. What you used to think it is bad, maybe you think it is good. Okay? What you thought that I should not approach it, no, you now say I will test it. Okay? This is where the learning has started. It means you are learning. Otherwise, if you are attending, you give me many certificates, and this is again one of the diseases that we have in, in less developed countries. Okay, I will not say underdeveloped or developing, less developed countries, because we are developed also more than the West in certain areas, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, is that now we have the disease of collecting certificates. Okay, or attending workshop because it will help us, but we don't know if we don't implement it. Okay, and if it's not related to my life purposefulness, if any one of you now attending and you don't know why you are attending for your life purposefulness, it means also it is not well established. The connection is not there. It's like two electrodes that they need to be connected. Okay. So again, this is very important. That learning is a process. Learning is a lifelong learning. Learning can come informal. Actually, the more we do learning by doing, it is better than learning by sitting and listening. Okay. So the most important, if you ask me what is the most important thing, for that always I said for the NGOs, I want to start with you with a project. I want to start with you with a research. Okay, research not about research and sitting at the table, no. Research means that I want to make you think, what are the things you have been doing all this time? What you have achieved all this time, okay? So that you start collecting and reflecting. Because the most important process of learning, it's not observation, it's not absorption, it's a process, part of the process of learning. If you want to write them down, we have observation. We have observation, okay. We have something called absorption, okay. And we have something called reflection, okay. Observation will move me from unawareness to being more aware, okay. Unaware to be more, what? Aware, okay. Once I will become more aware, I will start to absorb. The same word is here. Once I start to absorb, and I put things into practice and I learn more, so here learning, here learning, here learning, then I will start to reach a level called realization. Realization means that this lecture, I can put it now and implement it in my NGO, or in my life, okay, or in my project. Okay, not something that I can talk about it, but I can't implement it. Because if you can talk about it and you can't implement it, you didn't reach to the level of reflection. You didn't reach to the level of realization. What means reflection? Let me just mention these certain words. I know that maybe some of you don't know. What means to reflect on something? Yes, sir.
To reflect is sitting or you meditate on how you've been running your life. You see, am I improving or am I still in the same position?
Excellent. Okay, so give him applause. And this is what I'm talking about. This means that we need to take a pause. We have to take a pause and reflect, not just working, okay, and doing the thing without a reflection needs to take a pause to see where am I compared to what I should achieve, okay? And this is, we'll talk later about the technique called radar, that we use it for that thing. Because the most important thing for learning, you'll know that you're learning or not, is that you take a pause every 6 months during your, I'm talking about personnel, okay? Then we'll talk about NGOs or organizations, okay? As a person, I know that I'm learning. For example, I talk about myself in my birthday, or at the end of the year, I stop and I say, okay, what I have done this year? What is my evaluation? And you'll end up seeing something like this. Okay. I'm just giving you practical something I did last week. Okay. So this is example. Based on my evaluation, I came up with this, which is now a new improvement plan for what is I have not achieved, or what should I delete in my life. Okay. I know some of you will not understand it. Okay. But it says that what I want to do. Okay. Now for me, I explain it to my staff, for example, what I want to do in CS, what does affect CS, and what does affect me as a person. But this is a result of taking a pause, making a reflection. Okay. Because if I don't make a reflection, I will not come to realization. There's total difference between awareness and realization. What is the difference? Anybody can tell me? What is the difference? To realize something or to be aware about something? Yes. Anybody?
I will try.
Yes, please. Good. So far, we'll try it our right. Go ahead.
Being aware.
Yes.
It's if I'm in position
Right.
of what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Well, do I know what I'm doing, or am I doing what I'm exactly supposed to be doing? Like, let's say most people are having problems
Right.
in the society just because they are not informed on how to do it or how they are supposed to go about it.
Right.
So that's what I do understand by awareness.
Okay.
So realization,
Right.
it's the position where I stand to know what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Okay.
Let me say, if I'm a teacher, what is my responsibility right now?
Right.
Have my students improved in a certain position I came to make them do? So if I realize they're not where I'm supposed to be, then I have not done any work.
Okay. Okay, let's give him again applause. This time, a big applause. Even though he did not get it right exactly, it's actually earlier. What comes earlier? What comes when I move from unaware to being aware? I know the what. Because the most important thing is not the how. Most of us, we get busy with the how, right? But we're supposed to get about what. What is the purpose of what I'm doing? What is it related to my life purposefulness? Why I'm doing this for this NGO? Some of you are volunteers for your NGOs, right? You're not getting money. Actually, you are spending a part of your life, which is the most expensive thing, is time, right? You are giving it away. Or giving it, investing in it actually, not giving it away in a proper way. Because it is also for you to reflect on your better life, seeing the world in a better way, and so on, right? So knowing the what is moving from unaware to be aware. Once I start to know the how and the why, the most important is the why, actually, more than the how. Why I want to do that, not what is it. Why I will spend more time in this. I do not know about Alex. Maybe I think he is at least 5 years with his NGO. Okay, at least. Okay. Why? It's something. If he don't know why, then he will stay only in awareness stage. Okay, with time he will lose. Once he gets something more priority in his life, he will lose what he's doing now. For example, unless he knows the why and the how. So this is about, so realization, so that I define it for you. So awareness is about knowing the what. That's it. Okay? Realization is about putting, if you want to write it down, putting the concept into reality. When you start to realize, you are able to put whatever you believe in into the reality, into the day-to-day life. Okay? This is where we start to create a difference. Okay? So again, going back to the, because I don't want to spend a lot of time, I want to talk about the case study. Going back to this, then we'll talk about type of learning that we want. As I said, learning by exploring, learning by experimenting, learning by failure. I did not mention all of them here, just for some of them. Okay, self-directed learning means every day I am intentionally going to learn. For example, today, end of today, I will finish here by 2 o'clock, something like this. What do you think will improve your process of learning? Anybody? If you want to really learn from this workshop, what you should do? Today or tonight? Anybody? Yes, please.
Yes.
Funny.
So after this workshop,
Yes.
and what I've been learning from this workshop, then I will start to put into practice, or and I reflect on what I've learned, and then if I see that I need to know more, then other workshops that are supposed to be happening, I'll continue attempt to improve on my learning, and I'll do more research on what was also being learned.
Excellent. Let's give her applause again. Here is about what is about accelerated learning, what she's explaining. We call it accelerated learning. You accelerate the learning, mean you make it faster. Okay. Tonight, you go back, you reflect, you see, oh, from whatever I have, what does it impact me in current job, or current life purpose, or what I want to do, or my wishes. Okay. Maybe I search more on the internet. Okay. Maybe I create my own case study. Oh, when Dr. Waheji presented one case study, it's about learning and development in socio-economy. How can I do my own case study? Some of you NGOs. Okay. How can we implement this in our NGO and learn from that? Okay. So this will improve your capacity to go to work to applied learning, which we call it profound knowledge. Because what you are getting now, as I said, is mostly enthusiasm. Once you start participate, why I'm telling you give applause to those who participate? Because they are trying to go to another level. Okay? They are participating and they are trying to go to another level, which means knowledge. Okay? Because information itself is enough knowledge. Okay? Knowledge is what is processed here. Listening only is not knowledge, because information might come here and goes here. So especially with today, you know this, because whatever we are saying is not better than TED Talk. Okay, if I want to listen to a good lecture, I will not come to here. I will listen to a good TED Talk. Why should I go and buy come with a bike and something and waste my time? I will sit at home, relax and listen to the talk. But because I am coming to interact with people and see and improve my capacity, for that I am here. That's what we should ask ourselves. Okay. Anybody else wanted to say something? Yes, sir.
I think from this workshop I will practice run by doing.
Yes.
Yeah, run by doing. I will try myself to put what I learned in daily activities to know the impact of what I have learned.
Okay, great. Okay. So maybe at the end of the day, inshallah, a part of our exercise, maybe about this, what you learn, what you think you have gained the knowledge now. And then how you can transfer it to a learning. Because see, again, it is all about data. Okay, what doctor has given us numbers is data. Information is the analysis of the data. Knowledge is what is processed here. Knowledge, what does it mean, knowledge? Any information goes to humans and it is processed. Not goes from the side. Okay, it means it is knowledge. Now this knowledge, as I told you, is very dangerous because it might block you. It will, and this is what most of the problem now with our new children, new generation, Generation Z. Right, these guys, Muhammad age, these guys, okay? They think they know and they don't know how much they don't know. Because the amount of knowledge in the internet is so huge, it comes to you, right? You are trying, sometimes you try to block it, right? So much knowledge, okay? But this knowledge, because it's not implemented, it's making blockage. Many people, they think they don't know about life, okay? Let's say about divorce. They hear about marriage, divorce, before they get married. But they fell down in the same problem. Why? Because they don't have the profound knowledge. They don't have the practice of asking people, what does it when I get married, what I will face from challenges and so on. So this is very important that we think about. Social learning. Social learning is